Happy Lunar New Year, everyone. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and skip this countdown. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and skip this countdown. I see a few of you out there. Don't be shy. Say hi. Hi, Christina.
Hi. Can I actually choose the camera?
Yeah, you should be able to.
How are you doing?
Good, good. Just so you know that we are live right now. Our mics are hot.
Yeah.
But we have our countdown going on. But does everything sound okay? No echo on your end?
No, it looks really good. I'm just going to reconnect. Hey, everybody, by the way, I'm going to reconnect to make sure that my camera is the right camera, and I'll come back in a moment.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Here I am.
Oh, wow. Look at that camera.
Right? That's why I wanted to change it. Like, this is special camera for this type of things.
Oh, nice. Okay, so with if you saw the agenda or the script, I go into a few just quick video clips in the beginning, and then about 10 minutes after I start the show, I introduce you in. Okay, cool.
Amazing.
Tim, what's up? Hobby, what's up? I see a bunch of you guys out there. Don't be shy. Say hi.
I love the music too, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Char, hello. Welcome to the show. Hello, Zen. Happy Lunar New Year.
Yeah. Hey, time to get it started. No delay. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Laurent de Vera. Steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO. You will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge. Legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO video show where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre de Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released within the past week. into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest. And my guest this week is the founder of Marketing Syrup, Kristina Azarenko. Before I get started, I want to say hey to everyone in chat. I see Carol, Chauncey, Andrew, Delilah, Tim, Hobby, Shars, and so many out there. Hello. And those watching the replay, don't forget to come by next week. Before I do that, let's pick last week's winner. What I wanted to do is every week we do a contest. And all you have to do is put I love SEO in the chats to be automatically entered. And this week's prize will be a 1-month access to IMG courses. IMG courses is like an SEO, like a Udemy for SEO. So check that out. I will pick the winners right now. And I will pick 3 people now. And then the first one to reply gets the prize. Not always the first person replies, so I want to make sure everyone has a chance. So here we go. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Let's see here. All right, let's get this going. Winner number 1. Milda, congratulations. Be sure to email me now. Winner number 2. Chauncey, congratulations. And one more. Bradley, congratulations. Be sure to email me and I will pay for your first month access to IMG courses. Thank you very much. Let's go. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And don't forget to put I love SEO. Okay, now let's get on with the show.
This is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Where is the best place to hide a dead body? Page 2 of Google.
First, let's start off with Google News. Google Search Liaison announces passage ranking was launched a couple days ago for queries in the US in English. This probably explains a bunch of SERP ranking tracking volatility this past week. The early adopter program to experience 3D and augmented reality in search is now closed. This is a new feature when you search on Google. You can view some 3D and augmented reality results. John Mueller goes over some image SEO. Let's check it out.
Some advanced techniques to consider. Add appropriate structured data markup. Structured data is a way of providing machine-readable information about your pages and their content. Depending on the type of page, you might use different kinds of structured data. For example, a recipe page may use recipe structured data. A news article might use news article structured data, and an e-commerce site might use product structured data. We have information about all kinds of structured data in our developer documentation. Consider allowing large image previews. Including compelling and high-quality images in your content is more likely to generate visits from Discover. For large image previews, the images need to be appropriately sized, and the feature needs to be enabled either with the Max Image Preview Large robots meta tag or by using AMP. When providing images, add licensing information. This helps users to understand the opportunity to license images, shows appropriate image credits, and makes it easier for them to acquire a license for the image. This can be done with structured data on the page or metadata within the image. Consider speed. Images are often the largest contributor to the overall page size. We recommend applying image optimization using lazy loading and responsive image techniques to provide high quality and fast user experiences. Depending on your website, AMP pages may also be an option for making fast loading pages.
In a recent SEMrush webinar, Mike goes over some local SEO and Google My Business tactics. Let's check it out.
Citations and map consistency are not what they used to be. That not every GMB service leads to a rank increase. That reviews work. They work to increase customer, new clients. They work to increase rank. They work to help the business understand. But you have to do reviews in a way that meets what the customer needs in terms of driving it regularly. It can't be one and done. It can't be expecting too much work from them. Links and, I believe, newspaper mentions are powerful.
When doing SEO for a product or service for a specific industry, it can be a challenge. Here are some ways to analyze a particular vertical or industry by OnCrawl.
Okay, yeah, but my key takeaways, no surprise to people out there, get to know the SERP landscape. Okay, immerse yourself in it, understand the features, and it's not just about those classic links. get inside the mind of your searcher. And again, you want to answer like 4 key questions. What are people looking for? What questions are they asking? What are they thinking? And what content are they consuming right now? Well, that's all within the search landscape. So another reason to be in there every day. Use search data, use that insight to guide your content strategy and start thinking about intent-led content strategies. And definitely, I'd be using on-crawl to think, well, I know I've got to create informational content, but how much is right? Well, here we've got subcategory by subcategory from Rebecca, really good guidance on the amount of long-form content. Super interesting. And finally, stop saying, are we on page 1? But start asking the question, how many doorways have we opened on page 1? Those are mine, Rebecca.
So to continue from that, once you've figured out what you want, what is the context in which you need to excel, think like a bot. The bot is what isn't ranking you. Crawl your site. Identify the strengths of your competitors for visibility. So you don't need to know the strength of your own site. You know that already. What are your competitors doing well? And then also identify what they aren't doing as well. What are the optimization gaps where you can step up and fill in the spot? And finally, if I have to summarize all of the different technical elements that we've seen here today, at least as John has already pointed out, signal things correctly to search engines. And if you can't signal them correctly, at least signal them coherently. Because conflicting signals mean that search engines have leeway to do things you might not expect.
Out-of-the-box link building tactics with Laurent and Judith. Check this out.
But they're doing things like they take old domains that they buy and they pay good money for them, redirect them to the relevant section of their website, so totally 100% relevant. We're not talking about just blanket spam. Very relevant sites they're buying with very relevant backlinks being forwarded, redirected to very relevant sections of their site. And then they continue to link build to those old domains that are being redirected.
Interesting.
So smart. I love that they do that. And there's so many other things that they're doing. But be careful, kids, because if you do that wrong, you do pick up a penalty. And that could be for a very long time.
I do something similar, but I don't go as far as building links to the expired domain. It's a really great tactic. What are you doing after you post your content? Here's a tip from Crawling Mondays.
One of the tips that I can say, just go back to your old content. Give it about a month, 4 weeks. Just go back, revisit that. Look at analytics, for example. Look at the sources where the traffic came from. You'd be surprised to see if people have included your content in newsletters. You'll see, especially the referral traffic. Just look at who else is linking to you. As someone linking to you, how many links that piece of content got. And then you can also think about, can I replicate the same strategy? Can I now move on from, for example, we talked about an example that I had was the log file analysis, that article. So if I go back in about 1 month, I'd say, hey, how many links I got? Who mentioned me? Is anyone really supporting me with their newsletters, always including me? And can I go and build a relationship with that person and help them out as well in return as a favor? So, in SEO, it's all about relationship building. It's a big part of SEO, doing SEO. I think that's something a lot of people don't do. They forget about the content after it's been done.
So be sure to check out your analytics after you post content and check it back about maybe a few weeks later. How to deal with thin content on an e-commerce website by using canonicalization.
If you have less than 2 products in this category pages, you can make a dynamically working canonicalization. For example, here you see 1 product in the category, and there is no variation. So if you don't want, or if you have no time to do singularization to this kind of pages, then you can work with your developer and say that them to, if there is less than 2 products in the page, for example, 1 product, then make the canonical tag of category page to the product page. Then the authority of this category page will be redirected to the product page. So in that way, your product page will be more valuable, and also will be more crawled by Google, and you will save a lot of time for your crawl budget.
This actually gave me an idea to canonicalize thin content on my B2B clients' forum pages. So it's not just for e-commerce SEO. Paul Shapiro gives a breakdown on the types of technical SEO on the Page 2 podcast.
This is more like traditional, like what people think of as technical SEO. This is things that have to do with crawling and now rendering and then indexing, ranking, right? Like the standard things people talk about when they talk about technical SEO. Then there is what I call checklist technical SEO, and these are things where you can sort of go down a checklist and be like, is there a canonical tag? Is that canonical tag referencing the right version of the page that you want it to? It's things that like a lot of crawlers will just spit out reports on, or that you can simply put a checklist. Doesn't require too much thought. The problems that it solves are different than what I was previously talking about, in that the sense that there is a skill gap that may be present. What I call like blurry lines technical SEO. And these are things that I think sort of aren't really technical SEO, but often end up within the purview of SEOs. This is like web performance optimization, right? Like in my opinion, like that's for like front end, like web engineers, right? And then lastly, there is what I call like, I don't know what to call it. It is like this advanced technical SEO, which I think really encompasses things like data science, playing around with data, gaining insights that might affect the bottom line of everything else you're doing with SEO, like maybe doing an interesting data analysis that will affect like what content you're writing, or how to look at how Google is perceiving your website.
This leads me to my favorite part of the show, a technical and e-commerce SEO expert. To get the most out of our conversation, please ask questions to make this a super social learning experience. Let's get this started. All right.
Kristina is a recognized SEO professional with 10 plus years of experience. She is named one of the top 13 women shaping the SEO industry. She is also an expert contributor at Search Engine Land, SEMrush, HotJar, Business.com. She is a speaker at the Women in Tech SEO Festival, BrightonSEO, eCommerce Summit, DiGi Conference, and other market events. Please welcome the e-commerce and technical SEO boss, Kristina Azarenko.
Kristina, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hi. So I think that I can't talk right now because I'm so impressed by the video and by the introduction. I feel like I'm on a scene and there's so many people, the lights and all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course, of course.
So impressed. And I want this video. I will reach out to you after that.
Of course, you got it. All my guests deserve that great introduction. You are great folks. And thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you everyone. Yeah, just
hello.
Thank you everyone who joined us, who is watching us. Thank you so much. I promise this is going to be a really amazing and action-packed, tips-packed, and just interesting episode. So stay with us till the end.
All right, I see everyone's excited. Okay, I want to I want to just get started right away. So I mean, just recently you actually had a webinar that had over 400 people. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. For those that didn't were able to join, you were talking about about the 5 mistakes that are stopping you from earning more as an SEO. Can you explain a little bit what those 5 things were?
Yeah. So first of all, it was the name of the webinar. It's not like it's stopping me, because that's one thing that these mistakes are the ones that I made throughout my career, and I've seen so many people making these mistakes over and over again. So as an SEO with analytical mind and brain, I singled out those mistakes and put them in a webinar. So I won't go all over all of them, but I'll just mention some of them that are mostly widespread.
Okay.
So one of them was not showing the value of your work enough, because maybe you are already showing the value of your SEO work, but you might not be showing it enough. That's why people, for example, in your company, they might not see you as an expert, who you actually are, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they might not see what you're doing enough. So one of the things is to show, is to properly communicate this value. And another thing which is closely connected to this is when you just fight fires all of the time, but nobody knows about it. I see it all the time. Also, when something starts and you can do this and that, like so many things, and you solve these issues, but when the time comes when you, for example, want to ask for a raise or you want to ask for a promotion, then it appears that nobody in the company actually knows what you are doing.
Yes.
So also not only communicating the value of your work, but also not just fighting the fires, but also showing this and maybe making people aware of something that you are doing as well. This would be great. And the last one, not the last of 5, but the last one that I'm going to share today is just when you are in SEO, like in any other sphere, one of the things that people miss is that you need to have strong hard skills, which is SEO in this case, right? Before you can be confident in what you're offering to your clients or to your boss. So you need to have a clear structure, you need to have clear processes. Basically, you need to be confident that you can do the job, because otherwise you're not going to be confident. And if you're not confident, sorry, but you are not going to make as much money as you want, and the chances are high that you won't get the promotion.
Wow, communication and confidence. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so I want to take it back. We have to take it back. So I want to know, how did Kristina get into SEO?
Okay, so I love this question and I love this story, because when I ask myself, why did I choose SEO in the first place, I don't have an answer for this. I used as a debt collector at a watch factory in Belarus, where I am from. It was more than 10 years ago, and I didn't like my job at all. It was something just out of the university, and I just needed to work somewhere. I just needed to make money. And one day I found an SEO course. It was an offline course. So it lasted, I believe, like 3 months. And I loved it so much. I remember that I even took some time off my job that I had then, right, as a debt collector, to learn everything. I was reading a post after a post. I was experimenting. I was crying because I was so intimidated by some of the technical stuff, like how do you upload robots.txt to root folder and all this stuff. That was my struggle. I didn't understand what that meant, but yeah, it ended up really well, and then I landed a job at a UK company agency, and that's how my SEO career started.
Interesting. Nice. Thank you for that. All right. So how else did you learn? And you saw your office course. I mean, were there any like websites that you were visiting, or did you have like a mentor that you actually when you got more and more, or what was your learning process looking like?
Yeah. So I'm a self-learner.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the, it's a great thing, but at the same time, it's one of the problems as well. Because when you're a self-learner, you don't know what you don't know, and you actually don't know what you know, because you feel that there are gaps in your knowledge, and you're not sure, are other people doing things this way, or maybe there are some other better ways to do this, or like to solve some issues, right? So for a long time, as I said, I was reading a lot. I was actually read at least 2 articles, mostly on Search Engine Land or the Search Engine Journal, and there was Search Engine Land newsletter where you could get posts from all over the internet. Now there is also SEO FOMO by Alida Solis, right? So there are really good resources to learn, and I was reading all of this, and then I was testing and experimenting. But I'd say that the day when I realized that, okay, I've got it all, is when I started my course, because then I organized everything. And honestly, with other things that I'm starting in my life, with other things that I'm learning which are not SEO related, I find that going to somebody to learn from them is a much faster way to learn.
There you go. Just going to someone, finding that mentor, finding that coach, right? And you brought up a good point. So you actually, I'm curious, what came first? Was marketing syrup come first, or did your course come first? What came first in your career?
Yeah. So I came to Canada 3 years ago, actually like 3 years and 2 days ago. So, and when I came here, I decided that, oh, I just need a blog. I just need a blog in English because I used to have one in Russian. And I was thinking, okay, I'm in Canada. How do I name my blog? And in Canada, if you don't know, maple syrup is a thing. So it's one of the widespread, like it's basically a signature thing of Canada. So I was like, okay, marketing syrup sounds good. I don't want to make it only about SEO, because at that point I also had experience with Facebook ads, with paid ads. So I was like, okay, I'll just get a blog, Marketing Syrup, and we'll write about things that I've learned throughout the way. So that's how Marketing Syrup started. And then a year and a few months ago, I quit my job. I decided to start my own consultancy. And I decided that Marketing Syrup was a really good name for my company. This is the name of my company. And so this came first. And then also after I quit my job, one of the first things that I did was creating the course, the SEO Challenge course, because I was training people all the time. So I decided just like to pack everything in a more easy to digest form. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. So like, that's crazy. Like, how long did it actually take you to build your course? Because I know it's like extensive, and I mean, it's so professional when I see come to your landing page. It's you have like these beautiful photos, and it's a great thing. Like, how long did it take you to like create the whole project and get that going and get people joining?
Yeah, so at first, honestly, so the short answer is that if I knew that creating a course is so hard, I couldn't start. I think I wouldn't have started, but this is my passion, and that's what I really love. So producing the course took like 2 months, I think. And for me, it was every weekday I would just do the decks, do like research the audience, research everything, which questions people had, all of this, right? Then do the decks, do the scripts a little bit for the videos, and every Saturday and Sunday I would spend like 4 hours filming the course. Wow. But so like this is the amount of production. But I'd say that when it comes to online courses, especially if it's not something on Udemy or like LinkedIn, but when you produce your own course, creating the content is just 10% of the whole thing. Is just 10%, because all the rest is like communicating to your audience, is marketing the course, is, as you said, creating great landing pages. And I'm lucky because my hubby is a designer, so he has helped me a lot. Yeah, and also updating the course, because SEO is changing, and I don't want people to just listen to something that is not relevant anymore. So it's a constant work of updating and making sure that everybody is happy, making sure that everything looks good. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but I love it.
Love it. It's a great story. Okay, we had a couple questions come in while you were talking. We had here, if content is king and technical SEO is queen, do you agree with this rule?
I don't know. Maybe it's true. I think that they are both important, like basically king and queen. Yeah, we can think about this way, but at the same time, if sometimes king can be without queen or queen can be without king, it's not what happens with content and technical SEO. They should always be together.
Yes, I love that answer. Okay, we have another one just real quick. It goes here. DiGi asks, Can you please share one of your latest client wins that you are proud of?
Yeah, so let me think. So one of my clients, they are actually, so it's a really great story. They were funded by Shark Tank.
Oh.
And I love it. Yeah. So they're doing really great things. So while I'm not usually a fan of, putting so much time in creating blog content, for them, it was exactly what they needed. So we created a lot of blog content surrounding the product, because they don't have, it's an e-commerce store, but they don't have a huge selection of products, right? So we created a bunch of related content, and we managed to grow their sales by 20% month over month. And I actually, that was one of the hugest things, because that meant a lot for them. They're looking for more funding soon. So yeah, it should help them to get funding. And there is a different story, vice versa, right? So so there we were concentrating on building the blog content around the product. And there was a different story with a client who came to me at the end of last year. They were doing this, but they had a strategy only for blog content, but they were lacking the main the main features pages and all this stuff on their main website. So they were doing maybe they read somewhere that having blog content is great. It is great, but they were missing the pages that were actually selling their software. It was a software company. So I reverted the strategy, and I don't have a graph in front of me, but they improved their traffic a lot and leads, because that's what important, right? A lot, since they change their strategy. Yeah, so these are the main recent things.
Wow, you're dropping some nice knowledge bombs here. Well, things that you're doing, nice strategies that you got going on there. Okay, so you were talking about e-commerce SEO, so I want to actually cut that into a little bit. With e-commerce, what is one of the most common things that you see that you're always fixing for your e-commerce clients? It's that's really sometimes maybe an easy thing that's always missed. What are some common things that you always oh my God, here it comes again, I need to fix this. So what are those common things that you see as an e-commerce SEO that you need to fix?
Yes, so there are two things.
Okay.
And as you said, especially the first one is so freaking common that when you hear this, when you hear somebody talking about this, you're like, oh, come on, everybody knows this. But no, most of the clients, so when clients schedule calls with me, for example, discovery call, or when they just reach out to me saying, oh, can you help me with this website, especially e-commerce website, what I see when I go to their category pages, if they exist, is that they have just, let's say they are selling jeans. They have just jeans there, and that's it. They don't use title tags properly. And guys and girls, this is the most common thing, but this is the most missed, overlooked thing ever. And I see it all the time, ever and ever again. So yeah, that's what I covered in my ebook as well, in e-commerce SEO. And what I think is that it's very important to think about the title tags as the way to describe your products or your category pages in the best possible way, adding the things that make you unique. Maybe you make eco-friendly jeans, or maybe these are jeans only for men, or maybe these are plus size jeans, and all this stuff. Just competing for jeans will not get you anywhere. So this is one thing. And the second thing when it comes to e-commerce is, especially when you have enough products to do this, you don't utilize specific categories. Again, I've had multiple clients like that. And if we come back to jeans, right? You can have jeans for women, jeans for men, I don't know, black jeans for women, blue jeans for women, boyfriend jeans, right? All this stuff. And instead, companies or stores would have just something general versus going more deeply into types of categories that they can create. And that's the second thing that I find, this is the second mistake that I find all over again.
Wow, 2 bombs right there. Here, I'll give you another one. There you go, guys. She dropped 2 bombs on that one. So we got one more. We got a technical SEO question in the chat here. It goes, please share a technical golden ratio rule, code to text, 15%, 25%, or more. I mean, I'm not sure about how this works, but what is your answer to this?
No, there is no such a thing.
Okay.
Forget about this. Just go over it. It doesn't exist.
Okay. So, hey, hobby, it doesn't exist. No such thing as code to text ratio. Okay. So I wanted to talk about something also that another project that you got going on. I mean, you're such a busy lady. I mean, you launched an eCommerce, or you launched a Chrome plugin. Right?
Yeah.
A Chrome extension. Can you tell me how did that come about, and how did you get that going?
Yeah. So as an SEO, I use a lot of Chrome extensions, and even currently in my browser, I have at least 12 or 15 or something. I disable some of them sometimes. Yeah, and honestly, this saves time a lot having those extensions. And I've been using for a long time SEO in one click. Meta in one click, as far as I remember. I love it. It's a great tool, but at the same time, for me, it was missing so many things. It was missing schema, for example. It was missing status or some other things, right? And also, I wanted to improve the design and make something which will really stand out. So, being inspired by that plugin, I created my own, which is called SEO Pro extension. It's currently available only for Chrome, but I already got lots of requests for Firefox, and it's going to be available for Firefox not soon, but in a few months. And I just decided to create it. It took 3 months. I thought it would be much faster, but it took 3 months. The first iteration took 3 months. And the feedback that I got from people was amazing. I didn't actually expect so many good words, and I see that even now, people constantly mention me or share my extension, and I'm so grateful for this. Thank you so much. And it might seem sometimes that the work is ended, but there is always work on the background. And currently, we are working on one more thing to add, and then we are going to have an amazing thing. Everybody will love it. We are working on one feature. I'm not going to tell this is a secret, but everybody is going to love it. So yeah, if you want to save some time with your SEO work, just Google SEO Pro extension, and it's completely free. It's going to be free forever. It doesn't collect any of your data, doesn't do anything. This is just for you to save time, and that's it.
Excellent.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Everyone, it's free. SEO Pros extension is coming soon. How many downloads can you tell how many people actually put it on their Chrome browser, or is it?
Yeah.
Did you share that information?
Yeah. So, actually, I have it open. I always have this tab opened because I'm reloading it every day. So currently there are 6,854 people, but it doesn't show the information for today.
Okay. We got a fun question over here with Mike.
Okay.
Who has the best hair in the SEO industry?
I would say me, but also I can't compete with Paul.
You can't compare. Check this out. You can check out my hair right here.
I can't compete with you. Honestly, I love your hair.
Thank you. All right, so I want to bring up something that you actually tweeted out one time here, and it's something where it's one of my tweets. Let me just check it out here. Okay, let's take a look. Here it goes. Let's talk about some of these skills. It goes, responsibility is one of the key SEO skills. What do you mean by this? Why would you say responsibility is a key SEO skill?
Yeah, because when you are doing SEO, you're not just doing SEO in vacuum, right? You influence the business. And if today not you, someone buys shady links, builds PBM links and all this stuff, like doing some things that can potentially sometimes give you a quick boost, but then the company, like in a year or in 2 years, can suffer from this. This is your fault. And for many companies, for many businesses, their website is the main source of their leads, of their sales, right? And for many of them also, SEO is the main source of traffic that comes and turns in those leads. So I read some horror stories. Luckily, I have never faced any penalty with my clients, even like for their past SEOs. But I read some horror stories from clients who hired some SEOs, and they were like, it's just sad, because you hire somebody and then they treat it as, for example, I don't know, something temporarily. They don't care about the business, but it's not. It's always about the business, and people rely on you. So responsibility for your actions, of what you do, which choices you make, is really important if you're an SEO.
Got it. There you go. All right. So, but you know what? When I click that tweet, it goes to a landing page and it talks about like 20 plus more skills, right? I mean, can you share some of those skills that you feel that an SEO should have? Some of those skills that we should have, or hard skills, whatever skills, soft skills.
Yeah, so there is a list of 24. It used to be 23, but I added one more. Actually, there are so many. You could end up with 168 SEO skills, but I just wanted to make it easy for people and not overwhelm them, especially if they're just starting, right? Because if you see a list of 100 something skills, you're like, oh no, I don't even want to start, right? So the list is divided by in hard, soft, and tools. In hard skills, soft tools, and soft skills and tools. And so with hard skills, it's easy. So basically, like technical SEO, on-page SEO. Yeah, I would love to talk more about soft skills as well, and kind of like communication. We already touched on this today when we were talking about mistakes, but also curiosity is one of the greatest things that SEO can have, right? Because you need to be curious. You need to be curious to solve issues. If you see that there is something that doesn't work the way you expected it to work, you should be curious enough to learn why it's not working like that, and maybe even find maybe then experiment and find any similarities. Oh, maybe like in this situation it works like this, but you change circumstances and it works like this. So you should be curious, and curious enough also to constantly learn, because when I hear somebody saying, oh, I know SEO, I did SEO 5 years ago, I'm like, no, you don't know SEO. Because it doesn't mean that you can't do SEO anymore at all. If you did SEO 5 years ago, you can pick it up if you learn, but there is still a learning curve, because everything is changing pretty quickly. And also one of the soft skills is analytical thinking. And critical thinking. So first of all, analytical, you need to analyze what's going on. And this is pretty common sense for SEO, because you need to analyze what's going on with traffic, to see any similarities again, to understand the situation on a higher level than just, oh, we have 10 clicks more this month. Okay, so and also critical thinking, because in SEO industry there is such thing as it depends, and I actually have it right here. It depends. Yeah, because this is SEO mantra, right? Because sometimes you can say, as I gave you examples, for example, with my client, right? One client won because we were creating blog content around their product, but another client was doing exactly the same, exactly the same, but it was the wrong strategy for them. So you need to understand that if you see people sharing something, you should always test it for yourself, instead of thinking, oh, it will work 100% like that in any situation. It's like with a human, right? One human, if wants to lose weight, and she or he would eat like this amount of calories and train 3 times a day, 3 times a week. Another person is going to do exactly the same, and the results will be different. So I just came up with this example. I love it. But yeah.
Love it. Okay. There we go. We had another question. We have a busy crowd over here. They asking all questions all day. So how should we convince our clients to have patience, as it takes 7 to 8 months to get traffic? So like, what do you tell your clients?
Well, I'd say that 7-8 months is quite a big chunk of time, and I think that it can happen much faster. And what I usually do is to first, especially like when you are starting working with a client, to concentrate on quick wins first, instead of trying to fix everything. And that's one of the points as well. There's so many things to fix, honestly, but you need to think about the impact and effort. When I was starting, I was like, my audit would be really huge and saying, oh, you need to fix this link that I don't know, points to another page via a redirect versus via direct link, right? Okay, yes, that's happening, but how does it actually impact? Is it really high priority or is it low priority? So you need to think about this first, and then concentrate on something that will bring more results in a shorter amount of time. So maybe you need to concentrate on updating title tags. Honestly, this works like charm, especially if they were not relevant at all. Plus, maybe you need to create some more pages which will be something that people are searching for in this industry, but your client doesn't have these pages. And it will not take 7-8 months to rank them, especially if it's not that doesn't have very high competition. So yeah, you need to concentrate on something which brings faster results, and but also which is good practice. I mean, not shady tactics.
There you go, guys. Look for those quick wins. Yes, I mean, things can get ranked really fairly easy if they're like, say, maybe on the page 2 or maybe lower page 1 and just tweaking some certain things. I mean, what's the soonest that you've seen the kind of results? Like, was it like only just a few days or something like that? I mean, what's probably the soonest that you've seen?
Yeah, so I'll give you an example from my own website, and I think the timeline was about a month. So I had a page. I just like quickly created a page for e-commerce SEO service on my website. I didn't put a lot of thought into writing the content. I just want to make sure that is there in the navigation when somebody is going to my website, because I talk about e-commerce a lot and I didn't have an e-commerce related page. So I just quickly did it. It didn't perform really well because I just created it and didn't do any research beforehand. When I got some time to work on this, what I did, I started basically like the whole process from scratch. I conducted keyword research. I realized like which headings should I use there, which title tag should I use there, which content should I add. So I added a bunch of content, optimize the page, throw FAQ there and also FAQ markup. And within a month or less, I was on the first result, and I still am like for this page. It was pretty quickly, just because I analyzed what other people were doing and it worked really well. Another example was from my client. I think it took like 3 to 3 months of work to get there. We got 5,000 to 4,000% increase in their inquiries. It's an e-commerce store, but they work through inquiries. And I worked on technical optimization. Basically, they had lots of categories that were duplicated, or like in the video that was shared before we started, they had categories with thin content, and we worked on this as well. And yeah, and also the title tags, they were all, it was WooCommerce website, and they were all like archives, socks archives, instead of like something really meaningful. So yeah, as I said, these kind of common sense things, they still get a lot of results. And it took, yeah, as I said, like 2 to 3 months.
Love it. Thank you for that answer. Okay, I mean, we have another question here, and I want to make sure if you guys have any more questions, please put it in before I answer my last question, because we're coming close to time. But here's something where it says, if an SEO expert charges about $1,000, then does that include content writing, programmer charges for thin content and speed issues? So I'm guessing here, like, how are you pricing your services? Are you going by packages, by hours, I know it probably depends, but so like, what's like a common practice of EC SEOs, and even yourself, if you'd like to share, like how you would charge a client? Yeah, so I know, yeah, it's like everybody does different things. So first of all, one of the things that influences is what's the complexity, like which website is this? Is it like a 3-page website, or is it 3 million page website? This influences a lot. Got it. Also, who is going to do project management? Are you doing project management on your website, on your site as a client, or do you need your SEO for this? Then are these only handoff recommendations? So basically, is it an audit, and then as a client, you are going to take care of all of this, right? Or do you need someone to work continuously with you? Do you need them to consult, and all of this? Then what kind of work is it? Is it migration? Is it fix of a migration? Is it a strategy? So all of these things influence. And also, do you need it ASAP, which I see a lot. People like, I need it yesterday, but you could have done the day before yesterday, right? So is it a rush thing, or is it something that you're looking to start doing like in 2 months? So all of these things influence. What I'd say is that if you want your SEO to, I'll just read this question because there were a lot. So if you want your SEO to do content writing, I wouldn't say that content writing is something that SEOs do. If it's a copywriter, they can do copywriting. If this is an agency which provides SEO services plus content writing, that's okay as well. But if it's just content writing and it's positioned as SEO, I'm not sure that this is going, like, it doesn't look like SEO per se. And programmers changes for thin content and speed issues. Yeah, it can be this, but I'd say that you first need to start with kind of like a strategy to understand, not just to fix the issues for the sake of fixing issues, but if you're changing something technically on the website, or do technical SEO optimization, why you are doing this, how does it fit in your business and all your priorities, right? And if you're writing content, if this is the content to support your current product, is this the content to support your upcoming products? So yeah, at first there should be like kind of a roadmap or a strategy, which is not set in stone. It can change a little bit depending on your business priorities, but at the same time, that's where you should start. If you just order a service, which sounds too good to be true, like I've seen
I've talked to one potential client, and they said that they paid like $400 for an SEO company to do copywriting for them, to do some other optimization and even social media posts, but they never did anything and never even showed up on the calls. So when this looks really good, too good to be true, the chances are high that it's not true and you're not going to get the right service.
Love it. That's an extensive answer. So Zane, to answer your question, it depends. All right. So I want to before I let you go, I know you are actually launching a new YouTube channel. I know you got it going. I know it's in your wall there, right? What's the name of your YouTube channel again?
Yeah, it's SEO Follow. It's right there. It's SEO Follow. And I have a bunch of videos there. Not a lot, not like Paul, but one of the things that I'm going to do this year is to actually shoot videos for my audience.
Love it.
Because many people ask this.
So be on the lookout, SEO Follow. Make sure you search it on YouTube so she can climb up the ranks on that. I asked this question to all my SEO professionals that come on the show, and I'm going to ask you the same thing. So Kristina, if someone wanted to become an SEO professional, what is your advice to them?
Just do it. Just start. If you, I feel like I'm Shia LaBeouf. Just do it. Yeah, honestly, if you want to do, you don't need to have permission or something, right? If you feel that it's going to be a great path for you, then just start. How you can start? You can start with downloading the SEO skills checklist that I have on my website, seochallenge.co, and you will find this SEO skills there. You can just Google what other people do, but I find that it's really great to see which things you should know in order to be a good SEO, and then just start. And honestly, it's not something that is set in stone. I strongly believe that having SEO experience and SEO knowledge is a really good plus in all the spheres. If you end up doing Facebook ads, or if you end up doing paid ads or something like that, your SEO knowledge will still be a benefit for you. I actually know one guy who hires different kinds of people, and he says that if this person had an SEO experience, this is a plus for them because I know how they think, and that's exactly what I need.
Got it. That's an excellent answer. Thank you so much for that. Let's make sure. Everyone's asking for your links, your channel links. So how can someone get a hold of you once we're off this call here?
Okay, so I have so many links. Channel link. Okay, I'll put it in the chat really soon, I promise.
And you're pretty active on Twitter, right? Twitter and LinkedIn are those two the places you are on the most?
Sorry, it's me. Yeah, so that's what you hear when you go to my channel. This is my channel. This is my channel. So go there, subscribe, and my Twitter. I'm really very active there. So if you want to get more tips, you can follow me there as well. Yeah, and if you're using LinkedIn, you can find me there too because I post there too. Yeah, I think these are the best ways, or you can go to marketingsyrup.com or seochallenge.co. I'll actually put it here as well. I didn't mean to share all the links. That's why I'm finding them right now.
Are you putting it on the chat? Make sure you put it in the chat. Are you putting
Yes,
chat?
I'm putting them in the chat. Okay. I'm putting them in the chat.
All right.
Yeah, they're there.
All right, guys. So thank you so much, Kristina. I wanted to make sure, can you just stay on real quick before I sign off? I'm going to just say bye to everyone, but just please stay on so I can just say bye appropriately. Let me go here. Thank you. If there, any last words for anyone, make sure they come and check you out, right? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for staying till the end. I believe in you. Good luck, and have a really, really great weekend.
Awesome. All right. That concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And be sure to put "I love SEO" in the chat, in the comments below to get entered in next week's competition. Again, so thank you, everyone. I'll see you next Friday. Peace.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, cause the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre DeVera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!